Appearances and the Reality by Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj. Devotee asked repeatedly, "You have been saying that events are causeless, a thing just happens and no cause can be assigned to it. Surely everything has a cause or several causes. How am I to understand the causelessness of things?" Maharaj said, "From the highest point of view, the world has no cause." Then devotee asked, "But what is your own experience?" Maharaj said, "Everything is uncaused. The world has no cause." Then devotee said, "I am not inquiring about the causes that led to the creation of the world. Who has seen the creation of the world? It may even be without a beginning, always existing, but I am talking of the world. I take the world to exist somehow. It contains so many things. Surely each must have a cause or several causes." Maharaj said, "Once you create for yourself a world in time and space governed by causality, you are bound to search for and find causes for everything. You put the question and impose an answer." Then devotee asked, "My question is very simple. I see all kinds of things and I understand that each must have a cause or a number of causes. You say they are uncaused from your point of view, but to you nothing has been, and therefore the question of causation doesn't arise. Yet you seem to admit the existence of things but deny them causation. This is what I cannot grasp. Once you accept the existence of things, why reject their causes?" Maharaj said, "I see only consciousness and know everything to be but consciousness, as you know the picture on the cinema screen to be but light." Then devotee asked, "Still the movements of light have a cause?" Maharaj said, "The light doesn't move at all. You know very well that the movement is illusory, a sequence of interceptions and colorings in the film. What moves is the film, which is the mind." Then devotee said, "This doesn't make the picture causeless. The film is there, and the actors with the technicians, the director, the producer, the various manufacturers. The world is governed by causality. Everything is interlinked." Maharaj said, "Of course, everything is interlinked, and therefore everything has numberless causes. The entire universe contributes to the least thing. A thing is as it is, because the world is as it is. You see, you deal in gold ornaments, and I in gold. Between the different ornaments, there is no causal relation. When you melt down an ornament to make another, there is no causal relation between the two. The common factor is the gold, but you cannot say gold is the cause. It is reflected in the mind as iron, as the ornament's particular name and shape. Yet all is only gold. In the same way, reality makes everything possible, and yet nothing that makes a thing what it is, its name and form, comes from reality. But why worry so much about causation? What do causes matter? When things themselves are transient, let come what comes and let go what goes. Why catch hold of things and inquire about their causes?" Devotee asked, "From the relative point of view, everything must have a cause." Maharaj said, "Of course, of What use is of the relative view to you? You are able to look from the absolute point of view. Why go back to the relative? Are you afraid of the absolute? Then devotee said, I am afraid of falling asleep over my so called absolute certainties. For living a life descendantly, absolutes don't help. When you need a shirt, you buy cloth, call a tailor, and so on. Maharaj said, all this talk shows ignorance. Devotee asked, and what is the knower's view? Maharaj said, there is only light, and the light is all. Everything else is but a picture made of light. The picture is in the light, and the light is in the picture. Life and death, self and non self, abandon all these ideas. They are of no use to you. Then devotee said, from what point of view do you deny causation? From the relative, the universe is the cause of everything. From the absolute, there is nothing at all. Maharaj said, from which state are you asking? Then devotee said, from the daily waking state in which alone all these discussions take place. Maharaj said, in the waking state all these problems arise, for such is its nature, but you are not always in that state. What good can you do in a state into which you fall and from which you emerge helplessly? In what ways does it help you to know that things are casually related as they may appear to be in your waking state? Devotee said, the world and the waking state emerge and subside together. Maharaj said, when the mind is still absolutely silent, the waking state is no more. Then devotee asked, words like God, universe, the total absolute, supreme are just noises in the air because no action can be taken on them. Maharaj said, you are bringing up questions which you alone can answer. Devotee said, don't brush me off like this. You are so quick to speak for the totality, the universe, and such imaginary things. They cannot come and forbid you to talk on their behalf. I hate those irresponsible generalizations, and you are so prone to personalize them. Without causality, there will be no order, nor will purposeful action be possible. Maharaj said, do you want to know all the causes of each event? Is it possible? Then devotee asked, I know it is not possible. All I want is if there are causes for everything and whether the causes can be influenced, thereby affecting the events. Maharaj said, to influence events, you need not know the causes. What a roundabout way of doing things. Are you not the source and the end of every event? Control it at the source itself. Then devotee said, every morning I pick up the newspapers and read with dismay that the words sorrow, poverty, hatred and wars continues unabated. My questions concern the fact of sorrow, the cause, the remedy. Don't brush me off saying that it is Buddhism. Don't label me. Your insistence on causelessness removes all hope of the world ever changing. Maharaj said, you are confused because you believe that you are in the world, not the world in you. Who came first, you or your parents? You imagine that you were born at a certain time and place, that you have a father and a mother, a body and a name. This is your sin and your calamity. Surely you can change your world if you work at it. By all means, work. Who stops you? I have never discouraged you. Causes or no causes, you have made this world and you can change it. Then devotee said, a causeless world is entirely beyond my control. Maharaj said, on the contrary, a world of which you are the only source and ground is fully within your power to change. What is created can always be dissolved and recreated. All will happen as you want it, provided you really want it. Then devotee said, all I want to know is how to deal with the world's sorrow. Maharaj said, you have created them out of your own desires and fears. You deal with them. All is due to your having forgotten your own being, have given reality to the picture on the screen. You love its people and suffer for them and seek to save them. It is just not so. You must begin with yourself. There is no other way. Work, of course. There is no harm in working. Then devotee said, your universe seems to contain every possible experience. The individual traces a line through it and experiences pleasant and unpleasant states. This gives rise to questioning and seeking, which broaden the outlook and enable the individual to go beyond his narrow and self created world, limited and self centered. This personal world can be changed in time. The universe is timeless and perfect. Maharaj said to take appearance for reality is a grievous sin and the cause of all calamities. You are the all pervading, eternal, and infinitely creative awareness, consciousness. All else is local and temporary. Don't forget what you are. In the meantime, work to your heart's content. Work and knowledge should go hand in hand. Then devotee said, my own feeling is that my spiritual development is not in my hands. Making one's own plans and carrying them out leads nowhere. I just run in circles round myself. When God considers the fruit to be ripe, He will pluck it and eat it. Whichever fruit seems green to Him will remain on the world's tree for another day. Then Maharaj said, you think God knows you, even the world He doesn't know. Then devotee said, yours is a different God. Mine is different. Mine is merciful. He suffers along with us. Maharaj said, you pray to save one, while thousands die, and if all stops dying, there will be no space on earth. Then devotee said, I am not afraid of death. My concern is with sorrow and suffering. My God is a simple God and rather helpless. He has no power to compel us to be wise. He can only stand and wait. Maharaj said, if you and your God are both helpless, does it not imply that the world is accidental? And if it is, the only thing you can do is to go beyond it. Hari Om Tat Sat.